Honourable Speaker, we are getting close to an election. The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs in April of this year was here, and he told us that they are going to table regulations on how biometric voter verification machines are going to apply themselves in the upcoming election. He made that commitment. That time they were seeking supplementary funding to purchase more of these kits. And we asked, where are you basing all of this? And he promised here on the floor, April of 2025, this year, that he will bring the regulations. We have 1 month to an election. They keep coming and asking for money, including some of the supplementaries that are going to be tabled. They want money for the voter verification machines. What guidelines are you going to base on? I saw candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. He made a statement when he was campaigning somewhere. He said, the biometric machines are what we are going to use mandatorily. A polling station where the machine will not work, voting will not happen. I was a bit confused there, and I want government to clarify. With our network issues, we saw what happened in the last election with the census. These machines, the far to reach areas, including Kampala anyway, and the neighboring areas, network will fail, usage will fail. So if you say, we are going to use these biometric machines mandatorily, so where they don't work, there is no voting. So what will happen? In Honorable Kazo Chimosho, who is also saying he's targeted sometimes, if they say we don't want this man back, they make sure at his polling stations the machines fail, or any other person anyway. That means no voting will happen.
Thank you.
What happens? But also those regulations, we need them so that we are able to interact with them, punch holes in them, and otherwise. Thank you for accommodating my concerns, Right Honourable.
Thank you. Thank you. Lob, what Lob raises is pertinent. Attorney General.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I think, Right Honourable Speaker, I'll just answer the question on biometric voter, which you raised. I refer the Leader of Opposition to the Electoral Commission Adoption of Technology and Management of Elections Regulations, SI1 of 2021, which address the issue of the use of technology. So the use of this technology is provided for in the law. So that is sufficiently. But the issues of network and any such issues can be addressed under Section 12 of the Electoral Commissions Act.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The SI that the Attorney General is alluding to, we know and we do have. It's a generic one. And that's why when the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, who is your supervisor, by the way, according to the law?
He is not by law.
The Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, and I insist, who is your supervisor? Here committed on the floor of Parliament and said, look, we are going to table in April of this year that he is going to table regulations with specificity to the biometric voter verification kits, how they are going to operate, who does what, and so on, because that's important. The generic law, yes, technology, we must be able to use it. That's why that 2021 SI is in place. But a specificity one. And there was a commitment from your end. Yeah, and the other clarification, Right Honourable Speaker. The acting Prime Minister has said we should address these issues to the Electoral Commission and not here.
Let's first, Honourable, this is a very important issue.
We can finish with
Let's
this.
Let's first sort out the issue of the machines. The other ones, the other political issues can be handled. Let's first handle this one.
The Honourable Attorney General, whereas we all agree that technology shall definitely improve, mainly the verification of voters on the voters register and coming up with a legit election, the question arises on the following matter that is not legislated. One, like the Honourable Senyonyi raised, by one candidate saying in the election that should the machine fail, elections at that polling station shall not continue. Now, that is not embedded within the law. So, not within the law. So, unless we legislate and embed the two, that because you remember during the other election, the Electoral Commission came out and said when some of the machines collapsed, that now you can go and refer to the manual register. You understand what I'm saying? So in case that happens, how is the voter, the candidate, and the electoral process, in this case, how will it be viewed?
Can I find out?
As specifically
Can
right?
I find out?
Yes, please.
Did the candidate write?
Pardon?
Did the candidate write committing that is what should be done? Or it was just something said?
I think
like
that's even a great proposal from him if he had put it in writing. But now that
because now it is a hearsay.
None of his representatives denies that he didn't say it, we shall take it that he believes in the process.
So we are debating on a hearsay.
It's not the biometric machines, Madam Speaker, are not a hearsay.
No.
And the issue that if they fail, then what follows?
Honorable, what did he say? That if it fails,
yes,
election should not take place in that place. That's what we are saying. Is that something that was written, or it is a hearsay?
It's not anywhere under the law.
Elections is done by the Electoral Commission. Section 12 of the Electoral Commissions Act mandates the Electoral Commission even to stop an election on election day. Right now, I am telling you, you have sufficient legal infrastructure to run the BVV case. And if Electoral Commission feels that the election should not take place there, it is within the law under Section 12 of the Electoral Commissions Act. So there is nothing to worry about. If I've not heard the President say that, I've not seen the communication from the President to that effect, but the mandate to run the election is with the Electoral Commission. So any issues that you may have in respect to that, you can raise them with the Electoral Commission. But my advice to you is that you have sufficient legal infrastructure to use the BVK machines.
Maybe we also need to remind you that the President is also a candidate. A candidate does not determine how election takes place. It is Electoral Commission. Yes, yes, Asumani. Asumani. Asumani Daudi.
Right on, Speaker, I want to thank you. Right on, Speaker, the learned Attorney General in the 2016 election petition was defending Mr. Museveni in the Supreme Court. I was defending the Right Honorable Mama Mbabazi in the Supreme Court in 2016. We were on opposite sides. Always, we had an opportunity to extensively argue this matter, you recall so well, in the Supreme Court. And there were basically two issues. Number one, there was the issue of the legal regime. At that time, there was nothing to do with the legal regime at that time. As we speak now, one of the things you need to bring to the attention of this House, my understanding is that the regulations were brought probably under Section 51 of the Electoral Commissions Act. Yes. And there were two issues. There are two issues there. Those regulations were supposed to have been laid before this House within 14 days after being gazetted. And this House had a right through resolution to have them annulled if they so wished. But more importantly, whatever changes or modifications or proposals that any candidate has or Parliament had to be embedded in those regulations. Now, progressively, there are things that are happening that are not adequately covered in those regulations. I'll give you an example. There are stakeholders in these elections, the candidates and the political parties. Machines are being procured, and the stakeholders have no idea at all but where they are coming from, how they are being procured, the kind of technology. Because you remember, even on the issue of technology in the Supreme Court, we did ask. We invited the Electoral Commission, you recall, in the Supreme Court for cross-examination.
Honourable members, can we invite the minister responsible for that docket? And we have it, because we cannot continue discussing. You're referring to Honourable Mao. Can we have a sitting and invite him to be in the House.
Thank you
So
very
the issues of the BVK, we discuss if you're okay with the sitting.
Right on, Speaker. Right on, Speaker. The reason why it was important to discuss it now, but I obviously respect your ruling, is that those regulations have timelines, and given the time remaining, the issue of time becomes of essence. That's why I thought that, because at the end of it all, right on, Speaker, the Minister for Justice will not be in the Supreme Court. It will be my good friend, Nsumi Kambi, over there, who will be in the Supreme Court. That's why I think it was important for him to use this platform. But, obviously, your guidance takes precedence.